Good morning. We are gonna build this table today. So we got a 30-inch wide. I think this is 48 long. I think I need to cut about an inch off of the end of it. And then we have some 2x2, inch and a half. Inch and a half will slide into the 2x2. And then we have some 1x1 angle iron, and that's the 1x1. And then we have some, it says 1 inch. Oh, this is inch and a half angle iron. This is 1 inch just flat strap. So the flat strap is going to go around the edge on top to make a a water barrier, however you want to call it. Then the 1.5 will go across the front to make a trough for any fluids to run off into. Then I'm gonna drill out or cut out a hole on one side or the other, and it'll go back for a drain port. And then the legs will do the 2 inch on the 4 corners, and then we'll make legs that slide into it. I borrowed my brother's drill press, and then I borrowed his chop saw with the Diablo blade, for metal. And that's where we're at. So we'll probably go ahead and prep one side of the table for the legs. We'll go ahead and get the 2-inch legs cut, get that all fitted up, put some tacks on it, and then once we get done with that, we'll take a little break, kind of have a where we're at moment. All right, here we go. All right, so we got our main legs cut. They are 23 inches long. And then we'll weld those to the sheet itself. Then the inner leg, which will be how we adjust it, we need to cut those at 24.5 inches long. Plus the casters that we have, which are right here. They call themselves 3.5 inch wheels, but at the measurement they're almost 5 inches in length. So if we do 29.5, and then we'll probably have to plate the end, or we'll just weld the caster directly to it. Anyway, 29.5 plus that, plus the 1/4 inch plate for this. That should put us right at 30 inches for bottom droop, and then it'll give us a lot of adjustability whenever we drill holes, so that we can raise and lower it. And the end goal is we'll have a 30-inch table to work on. Say we're working sitting on just a generic stool, it'll be perfect for that. And then I want to be able to raise it up so that it barely slides underneath the bench right here. And then I also want to be able to raise it up at least to as high as the actual top of the bench. So we'll have to drill pinholes in the main legs before we put them on. And then we will drill 2 more holes in each inner leg, and that'll give us the adjustability for the bottom of the under the bench and then even with the bench. So if you're standing up welding or working on anything, you can just stand there, it'll be comfortable. And if you're sitting down, the 30-inch table seems to be great. That's basically what these sawhorses are, and it feels just about right. I mean, you could work on it standing up, but it'll be nice to have the adjustability. All right, so we'll do a little bit more cutting, and then we're going to have to get the cutoff wheels back out. I know for sure we had to take about 1 inch off of that. I don't know exactly how much, but somewhere in that ballpark. So we'll take one end off just a little bit. We'll cut our flat strap to fit around the edge. We'll cut our angle iron to fit across the front, and then we'll start tacking everything together. Try and keep it as square as possible. So at the end of this thing, hopefully we have a really nice, organized, usable table. All right, just so you understand why I have to cut it down a little bit more. This is like 4 1/4, 3/8 maybe. And the hole is exactly 48 inches. So I'm gonna drop it back to 47 inches, and that'll give us a little extra playroom. All right, so I cleaned up the edge all the way around on one side, and then the other side I did the corners and then just the front edge. That's because we're going to do a piece of angle iron across the front edge pretty close to the edge, so I wanted it to be clean on both sides, not to pull any debris. And then the rest of it, we're going to do that 1-inch strap all the way around to close off the sides. Let's keep working. All right, after lots of grinding and cleaning and whatnot, table is no longer out there. It's now in here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put tack weld the lip on all the way around, tack weld on the front angle piece. It's right here. Whoa. So it'll sit something like this. Just giving a trough for everything to fall into. All right, so we're gonna get y'all set up. We'll do a little tack weld and get all this thing put together. I think I'm gonna take and clamp that angle iron to the top of it just to keep it nice and rigid. Make sure it's 100% flat and true. We'll get this stuff tacked up, and then we'll talk about it. All right, I got my 1-inch strap on the sides and the back. I got my 1.5-inch angle iron across the front. Everything was tacked down, everything was nice, straight, and true. And then I decided to start right here, and I went from this tack to this tack. And when I got about right here, I heard a funny pinging noise back over here in the corner. And what I found was no broke welds, but I warped the back half of this plate. I mean, that's more than 3/4 of an inch in the middle on a 47-inch span. So 47 inches, more than 3/4 inches in the middle, all the tacks held, and the 1-inch by 3/16 strap across it didn't stop it. It bent it also. So I talked with my brother, told him what happened. He said that if it was him, he would build a frame for the table to lay on. So I have plenty of 2-inch square tubing still. So what I'm going to do is build a 2-inch square tubing frame for the table to sit on, and then hopefully I'll be able to use clamps, clamp down the ends, and actually flex it back straight. If it goes straight, perfect. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to cut the 1-inch strap off. Like if I can't flex it with the clamps, I'm gonna have to cut the 1-inch strap off, cut the angle iron off the front, then weld down to the frame, and then put the angle iron and the 1-inch strap back on. I'm sure that 1-inch strap is now bent, so if I do have to cut it off, I will probably lay it on upside down. That way the bend will be away and I can just use clamps to pull it down. As you can see, it's getting late. I literally have been going at it pretty much all day, either working on this. We had family dinner, so I actually ended up cooking dinner, and we had some taekwondo lessons for the kids, so went to that. I forgot to upload my video today, so I'm gonna throw the video up today here real quick, and then I'm probably gonna get some rest, and then tomorrow morning we'll build our frame, see if we can't fix our problem. Good night.
Good morning. It is arm hair o'clock. I don't know where my watch is. We got some project to do here. So I'm gonna get this super heavy tabletop off, move it off to the side, bring my stands out, get a piece of wood, set it on there so I can use the saw again. And we're gonna start cutting up some 2-inch square tubing to create a frame for this tabletop to lay down on. And then I gotta head to Tyler for an appointment with my daughter. Get done with that, come back and see if we can't get, maybe I'll swing by and grab some clamps on the way, and then see if we can't get this thing clamped down without doing anything other than clamping it. If we can straighten it out clamping it down, then that's all I'm gonna do. If we cannot, then I'm gonna cut the piece of angle iron off the front, and I'm gonna cut the piece of 1-inch strap off the back, and then we'll definitely be able to straighten it out. And then, you know, once it's straightened, it doesn't really matter and then we can put the pieces back on. And after all that, then we're gonna do no more than 2-inch welds at a time. So we'll do a 2-inch weld here, 2-inch weld there, 2-inch weld there, 2-inch weld there, and we'll just continually go around the table, 2 inches weld at a time. I know, that's what she said. And yeah, we'll hopefully get this thing fixed up. Honestly, I'm just mumbling right now because I want to finish my coffee. It's a beautiful morning, birds are chirping. I don't know what it is outside. It's got to be 70s, low 70s. Feels great. Oh, let me sit up straight. My back's hurting. Okay. Work.
Good morning. So I just got done. It's I don't know, 7:20 in the morning. Kind of got my space cleaned up, set my table back up. These are the 4 legs I cut down shorter yesterday, so now they are 20 inches instead of originally 23 inches. Just went ahead and cut an extra ½ inch off for that. And then these angled pieces are 47 inches long. We're gonna lay them out with these pieces, which are, I guess they have to be 24.5, I believe. Let's double check. Yeah, so they're 24.5. All right, so whenever we lay those out, they will almost cover the entire bottom of the table. So we're gonna build a frame out of these, and then we'll weld the table down, or first we'll take clamps, clamp it down to that frame, and then if we can flex it enough to get everything straight and true, then we're gonna weld it down to this, finish welding it out. Presto, problem solved. If not, we'll cut the front and back off, then the plate will definitely lay down and weld onto it, and then we'll replace the strap and angle iron on the front. The reason why we got the drill press out is once we get this frame together, I'm gonna go ahead and put these legs on, and when we put these legs on, it'll be much more challenging to drill holes for the pin for the adjustability. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill those out now, and then I guess last but not least, we'll put some kind of cross bracing in there. So anyhow, that's where we're at right now. Let's get to work. Oh, I do gotta go kill some wasps real quick, then we'll be working. All right, we got the legs cleaned up. We got our frame cleaned up. So I think what I'm gonna do is start with just one corner, make sure it's 90, and give it a little tack. Make sure it's 3 inches off the end. And then once I get the first corner done, I'll probably do the opposite side, make sure it's 90, give it a little tack, 3 inches off the end. And then whenever I put the top piece on, make sure we're still 90, but then I'm gonna cross measure and make sure that we actually have the exact same, make sure we're square, you know what I mean? Anyway, I guess I'll set you up here and y'all can watch me hobble around on the ground like an old man. All right, the top frame is put together. This is 47-inch runners on the sides, and then these are 24 and a half. Anyway, basically the frame will fit exactly on the top piece. So now I'm going to clean up the edges of the frame so that we can weld it. Then I'm going to wrestle that big heavy top piece over. I'm going to put it up on the tall stands upside down. Then I'm going to put the frame on top of that upside down. And then we use the clamps to pull those things together. Hopefully everything bends straight and looks good. And if not, then we'll, at that point, we'll have to cut that strap off the back at least. Possibly have to cut the angle iron off the front also. It's straight from the middle to the front of the sheet. So I think we'd probably get away with the back half. We'll just have to see how it plays out. All right, let's keep going. All right, we fixed the warp in the top plate by building the frame. We clamped it down, tacked it all the way around, and then I started welding it in. So, you know, forgive the welds, but this is my first ever usage of TIG. So welded all the way across here, then a 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, all the way across, all the way around the corner, all the way around the corner. I need to fill in right there. This front edge is gonna be pretty tricky. I got a couple of tacks. Probably just do another tack in between and then just fill in the edge. Still haven't got any tacks around the inside. A couple of them over here. We got tacks across the back holding everything together. Got this side done the same way, all the way around, filled in. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, all the way around, filled in. Still need to fill in that front edge a little bit. That's where we're at. I used up all of my filler. And I have now gone through the second bottle of argon. I'm down to 400 pounds. We got a little bit left, but it won't last long. So since I'm out of everything, I think that's gonna be it for this one. We got everything kind of picked up. We still gotta put our casters on the adjustable legs. We still gotta put the main legs on. We're gonna brace those main legs on 3 sides together. Probably use the, oh, I've also been saying this wrong the whole time. The main frame, the main legs are 2.5, and then I believe the other one is 2 inch. And I've been saying the big was 2.5. So, yeah, so the main frame is 2.5. The main legs are 2.5. The adjustable legs are 2 inch. So yeah, this thing's gonna weigh 17,000 pounds, but be nice. We'll see y'all next time. Finish putting this thing together. Maybe we'll pick a color what to paint it.